Mr H would like to talk to you.
Moving on, sir, from our little video regarding care homes and mismanagement, I'd like to sort of expand on that, how it comes even down to local services, you know, like provided by a council. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I returned to a place I went to with Britannia Bridge and Mr J, or Mr
Yeah,
Jones,
I never went there, you know.
which is Hinning House in Lake District, up in Cumbria. And it was nice. I got up there, you know, and we're very lucky because the current custodian let me and my wife in and we had a look round. And while it was great for it to be transported back to being 10 again, it was such a shame that there's been nothing put in place. You know, it's exactly as I'd left it 30 years ago.
No refurbishment.
No refurb as such. He's now, the bloke's now slowly getting round to it, but what happened was, there's a charity runs it now, whereas Wigan Council used to run it. And they was running it to loss, Wigan Council, and next thing we know, they're talking about closing place. In steps this charity and turns it round. And they're now turning over a profit. Once again, a charity doing a better job.
Yeah.
You know, the more professional people. And I just was wondering what your thoughts is. Is it probably because the people who run the council just aren't used to the business style? Do you think?
I think that would be a lovely way of thinking, Mr H. I just think inherently power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolute. And I do think it's just wheels within wheels. And you see, they'll put money into things like this gay pride because it makes them appear hip and like relevant and trendy and all this carry on. They'll put money into things like this or some shit art festival, you know. But they've closed a few care homes, haven't they? I'm not Paul Maiden. I don't know the exact statistics of things, but I do know that basically they blame Whitehall and Downing Street for all these cuts, but they've not had as many cuts as they make out. You know what I mean? So that money's going somewhere else, kind of thing. You know.
Well, what would have happened, I think, is had they sold in house off. And there's another one there called Low Bank Round. Did you never get a chance to go there?
No.
Yeah, well, me and my wife are on about going and documenting that one as well in the next couple of weeks over on Hot Pot. But what I think would have happened, they would have sold them off for a pittance next to nothing.
Yeah.
And that cash would have gone and filled an hole somewhere.
Or a back pocket.
Oh, well, back pocket. And then they would have ended up still sending Wigan kids to those sites, but they'd have been then paying more.
Yeah,
now that sort of business plan doesn't make sense. I mean, we've seen the stalwarts of the Wigan Council with Terry Dunn and his cans of beans up there in bloody waste disposal park.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think as they're just that incompetent, they just can't grasp. They're used to a big pot of money coming from Whitehall. Yeah. And use it wisely, and then before end of year, make sure there's jack shit in it, so we'll not get it knocked off our budget next year. Well, that's the only way they work, Jimmy.
I'll tell you a fucking example of this. Not recently. Do you know near the Magistrates Court in Wigan?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Traffic, they caused mayhem for a few months, widening the path by 6 inches. Do you remember this? It was quite a few months ago. They caused the council, in their infinite wisdom, the path across the road from the Magistrates Court. What is that, Darlington Street? Is that actually Darlington Street?
I think that's Darlington Street itself, yeah.
Well, they widened the path by 6 inches. You know, they just brought it out 6 inches, but they shut that road off, and for months the traffic was fucking abhorrent.
Yeah. Was that up towards Lidl, that?
Yeah. And somebody else, if you remember this, please comment. You know, that's one example of all of a sudden these roadworks come out of nothing. Like I said, they're just using money up that's left in pots so they can fucking get it in the back next year.
But why not go and fill in the bloody potholes in the roads? And you know, if you must use the money, use it wisely.
Well, they do it every so often. They have a spurt, don't they? And then now again, they're fucking terrible. You know what I mean? The conditions of our roads, and it's all detrimental to your vehicle, to your fucking bearings and your fucking CV joints.
Well, they've also proved, I think, that if you went in at council, you know, I've had my exhaust back box knocked off, they would pay you off rather than see a court case because it's cheaper.
Right.
That was draining a lot of councils.
Right.
You know, but if you fix the bloody roads in the first place, nobody would be able to say my back box got knocked off.
I have no faith in them. And then there's this place at Maris Bridge where they're on about where you get on the M6, they're on about building 22,000 houses there on that greenbelt land. This Peter Smith and that Donneral and all that.
They've been in too long in Wigan, so
they can do what they fucking want, basically, can't they? And people, you know, you've got a group opposing it with Paul Maiden, and you have this councillor Bob Bryar, who's an independent councillor, but he's being persecuted apparently, you know, being called a sexist and having his name dragged through the mud. It's like Corbyn on a bigger scale, where, you know, all the media now, we should theoretically report an unbiased story. You know, Corbyn's a fucking dickhead, and anything that goes wrong in his party is magnified by 1,000. Oh, yeah. And you know, Corbyn being a dickhead or not, that's not the issue. The issue is they should report an unbiased, equal. They never do, don't they? But no, and this is where we are. You know, the house. What is it? The dice. I can't even. What's the saying? The house always wins, or something like that.
Yeah. So, like I say, I just think management, they just don't have those skills, and they need to step aside and bring people in who can.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than, well, you've been here 10 years now, lad, so you can move up to the next scale. You know, that Terry Dunn, he shouldn't have been in charge of a bloody work gang.
Well, that's indicative of Wigan Council. It's full of fucking idiots, isn't it, really?
Who you know?
You know, we've said it before, this believe I'm only human. What the fucking hell is all that about? Why are you wasting money on this fucking rubbish? These nonsensical fucking... What does it mean, believe I'm only human?
Well, it's lost on me, sir.
It's some fucking dickhead in some PR company, corked out of his tits. Oh, Wigan Council have been on. Hang on, give them that. You know, charge them fucking 15 grand. You know, that Donneral told me it only cost £5,000 for that Believe in Her campaign. Now, she would have had to get them photos took. She'd have had to have that campaign fucking designed. Now, it won't be somebody in a flat in schools doing it on a fucking Vic 20.
No.
You know what I mean? It would cost thousands printing and all that carry on. No way did that cost fucking £5 grand. And then you've got the believe I'm only human. You know, another waste of fucking money. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Money being squandered. This gay pride, money being squandered. Said it again, yeah. Just waste. And there's so many examples of this wasting of fucking public funds, while the initial services that they should provide are being slashed, while they can just fucking waste money on shit. While, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you, mate.
We've got a red battery, sir. You know. It's because of the cuts in fucking energy.
Yeah.
So we'll have to come back in a minute. Bye bye everybody.